Hi everyone, my name is Maggie and I'm a member of the ThunderTix customer support team. Today, I'm going to show you a ThunderTix feature called password protected presales. I really love this feature because it allows you to reward your most loyal fans, members, or donors with access to early tickets. Whether you're gearing out for a sold out opening night, launching a new performance series, or promoting a special fundraiser, these pre-sales really help create urgency, boost early sales, and build a stronger connection with your customer base. Super excited to show you today. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to set up a password protected presale option on a new event that you're creating. But keep in mind, I am also going to go through how to edit it on a current event and what it's going to look like on your public facing site. So first, let's start with this new event. So we're going to be in the events tab, event manager if you're not already, and then we're going to click create event. Now I'm going to fill this out real quick. I'm not going to take you through every step, and so we can skip to the good parts here. But keep in mind, the password protected presale is going to work for general admission, reserved seating, stadium seating, etc. It doesn't matter what type of seating chart you have. Okay, I have my event all filled out. I have my name, performance dates and times, my ticket type, a little event description, and my picture. This is Bill's the Musical. He's my cat. He's amazing. And my event address. So we're going to then go down into these other options here. We're going to click on advanced date display options. This is where it's going to allow us to set up this presale password. Now the first thing you're going to see is this activation date. Now that represents the date that your event is going to go on sale to the public. So the default for this is going to be the date and the time that you're setting up the event. But keep in mind, if you want a pre-sale, that you have to set the activation date to a later date. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to set this to the 29th. Now, once you do that, you're going to see these other options start popping up. So now that we've set our activation date to sometime in the future, we can do a pre-sale announcement. Now for the pre-sale announcement, typically what I see people do is they're going to take the description of the event and then they're going to put a little note at the top that says that there's a pre-sale, what date the tickets are going on sale, etc. So again, you're going to see what I put for the event description here, and then I made a little message, members only pre-sale. I said the date that they're going to go on sale. And then we're going to have this all set up. Now, keep in mind, you can customize this. I'm actually going to show you in a different section, but sometimes people want to highlight this, make it bigger, more bold, to really showcase that there's a pre-sale going on. I really like this as a marketing technique because it really highlights to the general public that you have a pre-sale going on, and that immediately makes people think, well, how do I get a part of the pre-sale? Why is it so special? Do I need to become a member? Do I need to become a donor, etc.? So it's a really great way to kind of generate some interest in the event before it goes on sale for this exclusive feature. So let's go through this. So we've created a pre-sale announcement. Now we get to choose when we display that pre-sale announcement. So let's say I want to do it, today is going to be the time that the pre-sale, is activated, but you can set that at any time. It just has to be obviously before your activation date. Now, once we've set this pre-sale announcement, that's where you're going to see our password protected pre-sale option come up here. So this is going to allow us again to create one password that we're going to be able to send out to any specific clients or customers, that you want to have early access. Sometimes it's members, sometimes it's donors. It's really up to you, it's really up to you to decide who gets access to this. But it's really nice for that. So we're going to set up our pre-sale password here. And keep in mind, this is what your customers are going to put in to be able to purchase the tickets before they go on sale to the public. Another thing we can do in this section that I like to point out is the public access to your event section here. It's in the same tab, the advanced date display options. Now, if you have it on public, what the general public's going to see is going to be your event, and they're going to be able to click on it and see that there's a pre-sale going on. So without that password, they're not going to be able to purchase the tickets, but they are still going to be able to see that it's available for that pre-sale option. But let's say you don't want the public to see that there's a pre-sale going on. You want it private, kind of internal, whatever it may be. You can always click on this semi-private option. Now, this option is going to give you a link to the event that you'll be able to send out to the specific customers you want purchasing in the pre-sale, but it's not going to show up on your public site. So that's nice if you don't want the general public to know that this event's going on or that there's a pre-sale going on, before the event goes live. Then you can do this semi-private option and just email, the customers that you want to be a part of that pre-sale. So that's this option. We're going to hit finish and put together this event. So the next thing I want to show you is how to edit this feature on the side where you've already created your event and you want to go back in and either make edits or create a password, etc. So let's go down to Biggles the Musical here. You can see we've already created this event. We have our performance. We're going to click on the public display option here. Now, what we're going to be able to see is all of our event information here, etc. I want you to go down to customizing the buy button under the public display section. This is where you're going to be able to see the pre-sale announcement, your password down here, and you can make any edits that you'd like. So again, we see the date that this pre-sale announcement goes live on your public site. So keep in mind, people will make edits to the pre-sale announcement. A lot of people will make this text, larger. We can make it in bold, we can make it red, and I'm going to show you what this looks like on the site. But it's nice, some people will make it pop out, again, for those, marketing purposes. And then, again, you can edit your password here. Keep in mind, if you edit the password, you're going to have to send the new password out to anyone, you want to have that pre-sale password option too. Another thing I really like to point out is this customizing the buy tickets button. Now keep in mind, when your event gets activated and goes live for the general public, you're going to see the button to buy tickets on your public facing site. Just say buy tickets. This is customizable, for your event. But keep in mind, before your event gets activated and you're doing a pre-sale, you don't want that button to say buy tickets. Now, what you'll see on the public facing site when you have a pre-sale is that it's going to say enter pre-sale, which will indicate to your customers that if they click that button, they're entering the pre-sale, which is only for specific types of customers. All right, perfect. So one other thing that we have to do before we look at our public site is we have to go back to event information. And remember, when we first created this event, we decided to click semi-private and we left it on that setting, again, meaning that you can send a specific link to certain, customers for them to click on that link and be able to go in and purchase their tickets with that pre-sale password, but it's not being displayed to the public. So if we want this displayed to the public on our public facing site, we're going to click public right here. And that will allow us to display it on our site. Let's go check out our event on our public site. We're going to go to public display settings and view public display. Okay, so now we're on our public site. You can see I have Biggles the Musical up here. You can see that top of my pre-sale announcement. If we click read more, you're going to be able to see my event description. And you can see this button here that says enter pre-sale. You can see the default buttons here say buy tickets. Again, that gets activated when your event goes live. So let's enter our pre-sale here so we can check out what this looks like. All right, so you can see on this page, you're going to see password required. You're going to see, again, your pre-sale announcement on here, members only pre-sale, tickets go on sale on X date. And you'll scroll down and can see enter password. So people aren't going to be able to get past this screen. If they don't have the password, they're not going to be able to purchase tickets. So let's put in our password here. And once we do that, you'll see it takes us to the screen where we can purchase our tickets and kind of complete this process early on. So yeah, that's how you're going to set up your password protected presale. I do have one other thing to show you that I think that will be helpful, in the case that you select certain options. Let's go back to our settings here. Okay, so we're back on event information. Now keep in mind, let's say you did click this semi-private option, so it wasn't, available to the public. But when your tickets go on sale, you're going to have to switch it back to the public and remember to do so and delete the password, etc. So a really good way to remember to do that is to set a task for yourself. So we're going to go up to the top right corner of the screen and click tasks. And you're going to click this green button here. And this will allow you to create a task. So let's put this together. Turn event back to public. We'll label this Biggles the Musical. Our due date, because we're going live on the 29th, we'll make it the 29th. We'll do it at 8 a.m. We'll set that. Turn event back to public or general public ticket sales. And you can select your contact method here, which I really like. So phone, email, whatever it may be. I love to do an email because that way, when the task time frame hits there, it's going to send you an email pretty much to remind you to do whatever the task says. And you can select the priority for the task. I would select high because I really want to remember to turn this event back to public so, my customers can buy tickets. We're going to hit create task here. And again, you're going to see that up here. It's going to allow you, to remember to change that back to public if you decide to do semi-private. And that concludes my video for the password protected pre-sale feature on ThunderTix. Keep in mind, if you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to the customer support team. It's on ThunderTix and we're happy to help you with whatever you need. Thanks so much and have a great day.